Nothing is better than life than waking up early in the morning to take a walk and record videos. Sometimes when I'm walking and I'm thinking about a particular deck or a particular video, I can find the missing link. Hold on guys, we're about to become a locked character for a oh wait, hold on, I might look better, hey. And in this video, I think we found the missing link to make Rokket Dragonlink insane. Losing cards like Striker Dragon and Guard Dragon LP may hurt, but in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how this deck can still persevere and push forward. You could say that you're gonna be linking wins or dragon linking wins out together. So without further ado, let's jump on in so I can show you how insane Rokket Dragonlink is for this format. Now, as stated before, Rokket Dragonlink is one of those insane Yu-Gi-Oh decks this format. If you guys want to see some other insane Yu-Gi-Oh decks, then go ahead and click on that annotation right here, but make sure you do it after you watch the deck profile. Now, Rokket Dragonlink is a compilation of so many other dragon strategies. The reason why we call it Rokket though is because the Rokket engine is amazing. So we're gonna start off with the Rokket engine first. We're gonna run 2 copies of Striker Dragon or Rokket Tracer, 1 copy of Rokket Recharger, 1 copy of Rokket Synchron, 1 copy of Outer Dragon. To complement our Rokket monsters, we run 3 copies of Quick Launch, and then of course 1 copy of Boot Sector Launch. Now in our previous Rokket Dragonlink video, we ran 3 copies of Tracer and 2 copies of Recharger. The reason why we moved away from that is because we actually have other ways to make Synchro 8 monsters, and on top of that, this is the more searchable engine as it's very easy to get a Rokket monster to your hand through Outer or special summon them to your side of the field with Boot Sector or Quick Launch, but it's fairly restrictive as it does lock you in the darks when you activate Rokket Tracer, and as stated before, we have other ways to make huge plays. So moving forward, another engine that we do happen to play is the Dragonity engine. The Dragonity engine is really good in this particular deck because you don't have to commit your normal summon to pop off. It forces your opponent to hand trap whatever you're making with the Dragonity engine, and once they do, you are literally free to be able to play whatever you want. If they don't stop the Dragonity engine, well, they're in trouble. We start off with 3 copies of Dragonity Remus, 1 copy of Legathis, 1 copy of Armomisiton, 1 copy of Baby Rock, 1 copy of Blackwing Zephyros. For the spell cards, we run 1 copy of Dragonity Glow, and of course, 2 copies of Dragon's Ravine. Now, in my previous version of Rokket Dragonlink, I didn't run so many Dragonity cards. If I remember correctly, it was just the Remus, the Legathis, the Baby Rock, and of course the Ravine, which was always ran in Dragonlink. This time around, we're actually going to up the count because this engine is actually amazing. This is the engine that pretty much allows you to go full combo without committing your normal summon, meaning that if your opponent does have key choke points, you can still follow up with so much more because of how Rokket Dragonlink is built. Also, literally the only card you do not want to draw inside of this Dragonity engine is the Mistleton. Everything else, if you draw, it's perfectly fine. You can still keep comboing off, and that's what makes this engine so amazing. Now, I still do play a Chaos engine inside of this deck. That's going to consist of 3 copies of Starleaf Saphir, 1 copy of White, 1 copy of Black, 1 Chaos Dragon Levianeer, 3 copies of Chaos Space. Now, when I was building this on Twitch, I thought that this was unnecessary for the deck, mainly because I'm only playing 3 Chaos Space and 3 Starleaf Saphir with only 3 targets. It seems ridiculous until you realize that, yeah, this is actually really good. Both Starleaf Saphir and Chaos Space make Chaotic Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, bananas. Being able to send these cards from your deck to the graveyard and gain their graveyard effects are amazing, and Black and White Dragon are godly for extenders, as well as the Chaos Dragon Levianeer being a blowout card, allowing you to rip cards out of your opponent's hand, reborn a card, or destroy cards on the field. Every single one of these cards is just as vital as the other 2 engines, as they help you tremendously with extending and recurring for your later turns. Now, I do play a Dragonmaid engine. Rokket Dragonlink should literally be like Pendulum because this is 4 engines for the Rockets so we can take off. Because, get it? Our Dragonmaid engine only consists of 1 copy of Chamber Dragonmaid and 2 copies of Dragonmaid Tiding. Now, I actually did want it to run multiple copies of Chamber Dragonmaid, but I actually stopped against it because you don't want to summon Chamber Dragonmaid. Because Striker Dragon is at 1, you literally do not want to summon Chamber. You want to excavate it through your Chaotic Ruler, and if you have Tiding in the graveyard as well, you can search your second Tiding, or you want to send it to the graveyard with J-Deer, which allows you to pop off with some huge combos later on. I still do think that this package is invaluable for Rokket Dragonlink, as Dragonmaid Tiding Tidying is just way too good to give up. And then of course, Chamber Dragonmaid is a level 4 Dark Dragon. Now we do have our extension cards. I play 2 copies of Noctivision Dragon, 1 copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. I was very skeptical on this card, but it is an insane extender. I'll show you in the combo. 1 copy of Omni Dragon Brotar. This card could be dropped for another Noctivision Dragon, maybe another Chamber card, whatever card you consider of your choice. But I actually like Brotar because it's fairly easy to summon this card and it's pretty easy to get it into the graveyard. 3 copies of World Legacy Guard Dragon because that's the spice. World Legacy Guard Dragon is even more powerful than ever, being able to special summon Omni Dragon Brotar or your Chamber Dragonmaid to your side of the field to gain so much advantage, and it can also move your Guard Dragon Pisty to the appropriate zone. Now we only play 1 hand trap. We play 3 copies of Cypher and Gear Gamma and the Driver. At one point in time, I was playing Ash Blossoms and Joyous Springs, but the only thing I really care about is if my opponent doesn't stop my combo. So if combo actually becomes more prevalent inside of this meta, I feel that I'd rather just play Dark Ruler no more, but this is insane because it pretty much allows all your cards like Chaos Space and Dragon's Ravine to pop off without a hitch. If your opponent doesn't respect it, well, you get a free Chaotic Ruler to your side of the field and you can pretty much win the game. That's pretty much all that we have for the main deck, clocking in at 42 cards. I'm gonna blaze through the extra deck so I can show you how powerful the combo is. For the Link 4s, we play Boral Sword Dragon. Saryuja can be cut for another Link monster, possibly even a rank 8 if you choose. 2 copies of a Heretic Seal, 2 copies of Rom. I've noticed a lot of times that this will get negated. This is not really a choke point, but it's probably one of the best cards that your opponent can negate. So you just follow up with the next Rom on your next turn and you're perfectly fine. 1 Quad Burrow, 1 Pisty, 1 Striker Dragon. This is the new LP because it can special summon any dragon monster from your deck to your side of the field. The cool thing is that it doesn't become inhibited by being able to have 2 Link arrows that point to the same space. 1 Hot Red, 1 Chaotic Ruler, 1 Crystal Wing, 1 Borreload Savage, and of course 1 Jadeer. But that's it for the main board and the extra deck. Let me show you why this deck is completely terrifying to go against. Rokket Dragonlink is easily one of my favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the main reason is because no matter how many times it gets hits on the Forbidden list, it practically does not change. In this combo sequence, I'm only going to show you 1 card with 4 random cards in my hand and to show you how powerful this deck can be. But even when it's disrupted, you more often than not will be able to wind up on at least Seal Savage, sometimes Seal Savage and Tidying. This deck is just that strong. So I'm going to start off with Remus in my hand. I'm going to add 4 other cards in Tidying, White Dragon, World Legacy Guard Dragon, and Levianeer. This hand's busted. I'm not even going to cap with you guys. I'm going to start off by using Remus to be able to discard itself, to be able to add from my deck to my hand. Where's that card? We are going to add, of course, the Dragon's Ravine. And then use Dragon's Ravine to pitch the Chaos Dragon Levianeer from my hand to the graveyard. With that, we'll be able to add the Legatus from our decks to our hand. Now, I know it may seem a little awkward that I just pitched Levianeer, but don't worry. A lot of times we can get it back through the effect of Sturley Safer. We do play 3 copies of that card. And a lot of times I actually do go into the Chaotic Ruler in your opening sequence. We'll special summon the Legatus and then special summon the Remus. And then we'll synchro summon with the Remus and the Legatus into a Dragonity Jadeer. So, hypothetically, even if our Jadeer was completely disrupted, we can still summon White into a Striker Dragon, add a Boot Sector Launch, then summon Black and our Striker Dragon into Seal, and we'll have Seal Tidying Pass, which is still fairly good with a World Legacy Guard Dragon for follow-up. But we'll go ahead and use Jadeer's effect. With this time around, I'll add Blackwing Zephyros from my deck to my hand and pitch it to the graveyard. And right here, I am guaranteed Seal Savage, sometimes Tidying, if this is able to resolve. Zephyros bouncing the Dragon's Ravine, adding itself to our hand, and taking 400 damage, because the Ravine basically allows me to search a Rokket monster. So from here, I'll be able to link off with my Blackwing Zephyros and my Jadeer in Dragonity Knight Romulus. So hypothetically, if this card was gammaed, and we get rid of it, we could still make at least Seal Savage. I think it's a Seal Savage and Tidying right here, which is completely phenomenal by this deck, because even when our opponent does disrupt it, we still have plays. Oh, and also we haven't committed our normal summon. I don't think we're going to be doing it in this particular hand, but that's also very much a thing that our opponent has to keep in mind. With the effect of Romulus, we'll get Dragonity Glow, then we'll activate Glow to get Arma Mistleton. And then we will special summon Arma Mistleton by getting rid of our Romulus. Romulus will equip the Jadir, and then we will use the effect of our glowing graveyard to be able to special summon Jadir to our side of the field. Now, a lot of times when you're using Jadir this time around, it's literally to search the card that you need. Sometimes you need a black or white dragon. I already have black or white dragon, so I don't need that. Sometimes you will need a rocket monster right off bat. Sometimes you'll need Starly Seyfert. It really depends on what you want into your hand. If all else fails, I tend to add the Chamber Dragonmaid. This card's actually fairly nutty, especially since we did open Tiding as well. We'll add the Chamber and discard the Chamber. So this time around, we'll use Arma Mistleton and our Jadir for a Exceed summon into King Dragon of Atum. This card is literally Guard Dragon LP, as it will be able to detach a Dragonity Jadir and allow us to special summon a dragon monster to our side of the field. Now, there are still so many other cards you can go into, like Omni Dragon Brotar, if you want to search a particular dragon. Or you can even special summon the card that I'm going to special summon, which is Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon. Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon is completely phenomenal in this deck, guys. Because with Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon, we'll be able to special summon either the Chamber Dragonmaid or the Jadir back to our side of the field. And then I can use Jadir's effect this time around to add from my deck to my hand a Mist Valley Baby Rock, and then discard said Baby Rock from my hand to the graveyard, triggering its effect to special summon. Now, before you do all that, you might want to actually link off with your Heretic Seal and your Red Eye's Darkness Metal into a Heretic Seal of 7 Leaf Spheres. So just in case your opponent doesn't agree with you, you will get a special summon, as this is the last point of interruption that your opponent can do, as you'll synchro summon with both the Baby Rock and the Jadir into your Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So now your opponent can't stop you, and you have not committed your normal summon, as well as you still have 4 cards in your hand. That is pretty insane, all off of just being able to activate the effects of your Remus from your hand. So from here, I would definitely do some more board building, as I'd special summon White Dragon Wyver Buster by banishing the Blackwing Zephyro. And then we will use the White Dragon Wyver Buster for a link into Striker Dragon, triggering the effect of White Dragon Wyver Buster and Striker Dragon to be able to add Boot Sector Launch, and then Black Dragon from our decks to our hand. And then I'll be able to special summon Black Dragon Calop Serpent to my side of the field by banishing a White Dragon Wyver Buster. From here, I will link off the Black Dragon Calop Serpent right into my Guard Dragon Pisky. And here's where things can get a lot different depending on my sequencing. So the second monster you send off a Jadir is fairly important. Typically you want to send a Rokket Tracer. A lot of times you want to send Chamber Dragonmaid. I will use the effect of Guard Dragon Pisky to be able to special summon Chamber back to my side of the field. And then Chamber's effect will trigger, allowing me to add the Dragonmaid Tiding from my deck to my hand. Now I have a Tiding that I can play with, send to the graveyard, protect me from Dark Ruler, and I have a Tiding to actually disrupt. I will activate that Dragon's Ravine to my side of the field, using Ravine's effect to send Tiding from the deck to the graveyard. That will allow me to send Absolrouter from my deck to the graveyard, which will trigger the effect of Absolrouter to add a Rokket Tracer, and boy, we can make some plays with this hand. The crazy thing about this is that I have not committed my normal summon, so I can just outright normal summon Rokket Tracer to my side of the field, using its effect to destroy the Guard Dragon Pisty, to be actually able to special summon to my side of the field, not Rokket Recharger. I would actually special summon, where is that card? Oof, I can't find it. There it is, Rokket Synchron. Now, in this particular situation, the reason why I would summon Rokket Synchron is because if I mill Rokket Recharger, we're in for some insane plays. But right here, I can easily make a card that will be able to stop cards like Dark Ruler no more. And of course, Forbidden Droplet if the opponent's not sending a trap card. I'll use Rokket Tracer and Chamber Dragonmaid for a Synchro Summon. We'll Synchro Summon into Chaotic Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, and now we get to excavate 5 cards from our deck to our graveyard. Keep in mind, we already sent Chaos Dragon Levianeer from our decks to the graveyard. If we send a Seyfert as well, we're in there. So our 5 are going to be Tracer, Quick Launch, Ravine, Nocto, and Cyframe Gear Gamma. Really unfortunate that we didn't get exactly what we needed, but I'll add the Rokket Tracer to my hand. It allows me to extend with Boot Sector Launch if I need to. Don't necessarily do this time around. I'll synchro with my Chaotic Ruler, and my Rokket Synchron into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. From here, I can even use Striker Dragon's effect to destroy itself to be able to add a Rokket Synchron from my deck to the graveyard, which means I can follow up by normal summoning it and making a Borreload Savage Dragon for free. But even more importantly, we still have Chaotic Ruler in our graveyard, and we also have a Starliege Seyfert. So if you guys are huge on playing that rank 8, I can banish the Starliege Seyfert to be able to add the Chaos Dragon Levianeer. I can still summon the Chaos Dragon Levianeer to my side of the field, banishing 3 darks to rip a card out of my opponent's hand, and then I can banish a Lightning Dark for Chaotic Ruler and make that rank 8. But I mean, let's say I actually want to just play Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Let's say hypothetically that is in my route. I actually still have the utility to be able to make Borreload Savage Dragon on this turn by activating Boot Sector Launch. I can special summon Rocket Tracer. Then I can World Legacy Guard Dragon, a level 4 monster, to my side of the field in Chamber Dragonmaid. And then we can still Synchro Summon into that Borreload Savage Dragon, which will have the attack of our Romulus with 2 disruptions on it. So at the very high impact board, you can have a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Borreload Savage Dragon, Heretic Seal, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, as well as the disruption through the Dragonmaid Tiding. For the people that don't know this ruling, let's say if your opponent activates a card like Dark Ruler No More or Forbidden Droplet, not discarding a trap card, you can chain Dragonmaid Tiding, targeting your Chamber Dragonmaid in your graveyard, and then as Chain Link 3, since this card isn't necessarily responding to drop or Dark Ruler No More, you can activate this card to negate that face-up card. I personally do prefer the more loaded hand with Borreload Savage Dragon back into the extra deck. That would mean that World Legacy Guard Dragon, Rocket Tracer, and Boot Sector Launch are still in the hand. I think that this is a way better follow-up, especially while still having a menacing board in 4 disruptions, but I'm gonna leave it up to you. Well, that is all that we have for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Rokket Dragonlink is still an insane Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, and to any of the doubters, go ahead and show them this video. Of course, if you want to see more amazing TheCaliEffect content, then go ahead and check out these videos, as I'll catch you on the next one.